Oh me, oh my. Helldivers is either going straight up or straight down right now, and this week has seen it all. A controversial balancing patch, the reveal of this new upcoming Warbond, and then the latest news, which is, well, I'll talk about that in a moment. Welcome to the channel, it's LtBuzzLitebeer, and we've got all of that to run through, and of course, I've got some pretty strong opinions along the way, but first, thanks so much for your awesome and continued support. In case you haven't done so already, please take a moment to hit subscribe as we are quickly closing in on 225,000 channel subscribers, which is mental. Also, make sure to ring that notifications bell to receive my latest upload alerts. And here it all comes from Helldivers HQ. Alright, very quickly, the current Mutant Bugs TCS Major Order is sitting at exactly 2 days to go, and we've taken Fenrir 3 and Touring, so overall, great job there, but, you know, we're not done yet, as the hardest part of this task is now upon us, Errata Prime, with its Helldiver killing environmental effects. That being said, it looks like divers are finally kind of getting dialed in and are starting to mass on the fire planet, so yeah, overall, things are looking pretty good here. Also, and I've already completed it, but today's daily order is to kill 4 Chargers, and since we're currently over there in Bugsville, this should be pretty straightforward, and once done, you'll net those 15 medals, which you may want to start stockpiling for next week's Polar Patriots Warbond release. Speaking of which, I was a bit too slammed IRL to post a video about this yesterday, but Arrowhead has released their latest Warbond trailer, which you see playing right now in the background. Polar Patriots will bring in the CW4 Arctic Ranger, the CW22 Kodiak, complete with spiked boots, and the CW36 Winter Warrior armor sets. And overall, we're looking very Stormtrooper-esque for this upcoming Warbond, and that Arctic Ranger blue and orange definitely sticks out, right? New primary weapons include the Tenderizer AR, which looks straight out of Halo, the Pummeler SMG, complete with a Bryn-style side magazine load, and the Purifier Plasma. And this one looks like a Scorcher that has to charge up each shot. There's also the Verdict, which is a Desert Eagle sidearm, Incendiary Impact Grenade, and Motivational Shocks Booster, which I cannot wait to unlock and try to negate some of those slowdown effects. There's also 3 new banners, 3 new capes, which look like repeats from previous Warbonds, and of course, 3 new emotes, and all 3 of these look like items you're going to want. Overall, Polar Patriots is looking pretty good, and it looks like Arrowhead was also interested in how players were going to take to this upcoming Warbond, posting both a Warbond and favorite armors poll over in the Helldivers Discord, with the original Mobilize offerings taking both favorite weapons and favorite armors, and you can see where I voted there as well. Now, in terms of the weapons, some of those OG items are still my absolute favorites, and the armors have been pretty standard ever since the game launched. I mean, at this point, I think everyone's ready for some new talents, different shaders, different designs, you know, something new and fresh to really help them stand out. Also, and I didn't want to neglect mentioning this, there was a very small game update yesterday as well, as 1.000.301 was pushed live to handle various crash issues during the post-mission screen and a crash when destroying automaton tanks. And speaking of the automatons, they seem to have hacked SONY HQ because it looks like we've got some more stuffs going down with Helldivers, and just when the week couldn't get any more topsy-turvy. Now, I live East Coast US, and so my phone started pinging very early this morning between some of our awesome Discord mods kind of looping me in, or from other community members, but apparently it was going down this morning, and once I logged on and got up to speed, well, it's something. Posted to the Helldivers Steam page very early this morning, there is this message signed Sony Interactive Entertainment that is currently rocking a huge portion of the player base, and everything here is tied to the linking of accounts. So apparently this has been up on the Helldivers Steam page for the game ever since it launched, and I really never paid it much attention, but since Sony is the publisher of the game, there's this requirement to create and link a PSN account to your Steam account. By the way, that's not a requirement of Destiny 2, because I just checked it there. I could be completely off base here, but Bungie is owned by Sony Interactive Entertainment, yet there is no requirement over there for that game on Steam to create a PSN account. I just thought I would note that. Anyways, I personally have an old PlayStation logon that I haven't used in years, but according to some players, they were prompted when they bought the game to link those two together. But here's the kicker. Shortly after launch, and probably due to those horrible friends list issues and the fact that the game just absolutely blew up, it had crossplay, etc., this requirement to have a PlayStation account, even if you were playing on Steam PC, was lifted. It was gone, and so everyone forgot about it. Now, I had to go back and look it up, but Helldivers released on February the 8th. So here we are, nearly 3 months after launch. Everyone is busy enjoying their favorite democracy-spreading game, and along comes Sony with this monster mic drop. Now, of course, there are obvious issues with certain regions not allowing for the use of PlayStation Network. I mean, what are those players going to do? And I've scoured the Helldiver Discord for answers, and that question is currently met with a giant question mark from the mod team. And there's also the major issue of just PlayStation and Sony in general, and how porous their security systems have been in the past, with constant data breaches being the norm. I mean, these days, everyone is hyper-vigilant with their personal info, and tossing it over to Sony to hold on to is not the ideal thing to be doing. But the real gut punch comes in this form of this straight-up nonsensical bullshit reasoning for why Sony says that this 3-month pause now has to be lifted. Just listen to this, and I'm going to quote them here. Account linking plays a critical role in protecting our players and upholding the values of safety and security provided on PlayStation and PlayStation Studios games. This is our main way to protect players from griefing and abuse by enabling the banning of players that engage in that type of behavior. It also allows those players that have been banned the right to appeal. I'm sorry, but what? What griefing? What abuse? What banning? We don't need Sony's help to handle this. I mean, if it ever happens, which, by the way, I'm now approaching 250 hours logged into Helldivers, and I have never encountered griefing, abuse, or the need to ban another player. Besides, if someone has an open mic and is just being nasty, I can mute them in 2 seconds flat. If they're playing like an asshat, I can block them on the social screen, and I never have to squad up with them again. Why does this need to involve Sony stepping in to protect player rights, or at least that's how they've attempted to paint this? Seriously, though, this explanation makes zero sense. And in all reality, this boils down to Sony brass wanting more control. They see Steam and that huge PC player base not currently under their umbrella of influence, and they've now decided to pull this dormant requirement out of retirement and drop it squarely onto the player base. And the way this thing stands right now, as of May the 6th, so that's 3 days from today's video, all new players are required to do this at startup, and any existing players must have this completed by June the 4th, or you won't be playing Helldivers. Also, since so many of us have passed that 2-hour trial window for returns on Steam, I don't see refunds for anyone trying to get their money back, at least not at this point. As expected, the Helldiver Discord is currently on fire, and I cannot emphasize that enough. It is on fire. There are so many questions and doubts flying around, and these mods are just having to jump from one dumpster fire to another. And this comes hot on the heels of Monday's polarizing balance patch, which did piss off quite a few players. And I posted a video about that patch and the changes a few days ago. Check it out when you get a moment. Link in the video description. Steam reviews are currently tanking as of this wild news from this morning, and you can see this massive spike in negative reviews currently being posted. And, you know, I've taken the time to read these over, and almost all of them have to do with this now surprise requirement to have PSN linked or faced not being able to play the game they paid for. Now, I know this is a bit of a hot topic right now, kind of like Helldivers and Arrowhead are having their BSG and Escape from Tarkov moment where they just announce a really controversial move with the game and it sets everyone ablaze. But yeah, as more information becomes available on this, expect a full follow-up report. And by the way, I think it's high time that Johan, Arrowhead's CEO, makes a full public statement on this matter. Hold up, breaking news, ask and you shall receive, because hot off of Twitter, we've got a public statement from Arrowhead's CEO, Johan. He says, hey everyone, in regards to account linking and questions there too, please reference, and there's his web link. If you have any further questions, you can reach out using the Contact PlayStation Support at the bottom of the page. Okay, well, that non-statement says a whole hell of a lot, at least to me. It looks like Johan and Arrowhead are just saying that this is squarely on Sony and to take up the matter with them. But I still wonder why a non-Sony controlled studio can't seem to handle this matter. To be a fly on the wall when those negotiations were going down. Remember to hit subscribe and to ring that notifications bell to receive my latest upload alerts. All my socials can be found in the video description, along with an open invite link to my fast-growing Helldiver Discord community, now over 7,000 members strong. A huge thanks to the nearly 222,000 of you legends out there for hitting subscribe and sticking with me. Until the next one, fingers crossed. This is LtBuzzLitebeer, signing off.